Good afternoon, guys. It's working, bringing you a quick update on Bitcoin. Hope you guys are having a wonderful afternoon. We're looking at Bitcoin to the US dollar. I'm going to bring up the 4-hour chart here on Bitfinex, guys. And last time we spoke, Bitcoin was operating within a smaller wedge here. I told you guys that if you were going to play, it was operating within this wedge right here. I told you guys if you were going to play a position to make sure, if you were going to go long, to make sure you had your stop loss marked below this candle right here, below the start of this wedge. I say that because, as I said yesterday, if they were going to go stop hunting, more than likely they're going to bring it right down to that point. Sure enough, that's exactly what they did. They brought it right down to the start of that wick, which is why I said have your stop losses just below the wick. They brought it just down to that wick, guys, and then brought it right back up. So you would have been liquidated if you put it at your stops where most retail investors do. But if you were smart, you weren't. You were not liquidated, and you prevented yourself from getting liquidated from that trap there. Excuse me, guys, from that bear trap. So anyway, guys, price ended up coming back up. That wedge from yesterday is now invalidated. Came outside. We are operating within what I call a larger channel. Yes, technically it is kind of a wedge because that did create a slightly higher low. We're of course still creating lower highs. So yes, technically this is still kind of a wedge that we're operating in, but it's looking more like a flag. Now, I'm not ready to call this a bear flag, really, just because I think this is very disproportionate to this pole. What would be the pole of the flag here? I think this is kind of disproportionate, but, is what it is. We're certainly operating within some kind of a channel here. And as I said yesterday, guys, the zone that we have to break out of, all the buying and selling for the last 2 weeks has been taking place right in this zone between 6280 and 6540. Yes, we've had brief breakouts to the upside. We're immediately right back in. Let me pull up the daily. You can see it a little bit better here in the daily. We've had brief breaks to the downside, and again, right back in. But most of the buying and selling is taking place right here in this zone between 6540 and 6280. And we need a decisive break out of this zone. By a decisive break, we need a candle that opens and closes outside of this zone. Both opens and closes, not just opens, not just closes, but both opens and closes outside of this zone for a decisive break. I do think if we end up decisively breaking below 6280, and by the way, I do think we're going to have a major move here very, very soon, within the next couple days, guys. I really believe that. I don't think it can go sideways much longer. Now, to the downside, if we do end up breaking below this zone, guys, I think we might get some resistance at 6100. If that can hold, that would be excellent, but I don't think that will hold. I think we'll get some resistance, and that'll end up breaking down. I think more than likely, get rid of that. I think more than likely we're going to come down to at least 5900, in my opinion. Doesn't mean we have to, just means I think there's a very good chance we're going to come down and retest this zone at around approximately 590 to 5850, somewhere thereabouts, guys. This prior low. At that point, we're going to hope for a double bottom, come down here. If we do end up breaking below this wick here, guys, I think there's a good chance that we're going to come down to at least 75 or 5700, somewhere thereabouts. To the upside, if we do break above 6540, guys, this zone here that we've wicked in so many times, if we can break above that, I think it'll be a rather quick rise to around 7,000, somewhere about thereabouts, guys. And there is a decent supply zone right up in here that will act as strong resistance more than likely. Now, there's a couple of reasons that's going to act as a strong resistance. If I pull out here, guys, we can see if I go swing high to swing low from our prior high here, we can see that the 618 fib lies somewhere around 7,500, 7,500, somewhere thereabouts, guys. So that is going to act as a strong resistance. But if let me pull out the 4-hour here. If we go from swing high to swing low of this prior structure, let me bring it right here, right, which would be right into this zone. This was the prior swing high of this structure right at here. What do we have? That sits right on top. This wick, it wicked perfectly right into, in fact, let me blow it up there, right on the 618 fib level. This wick hit perfectly right at the 618 fib, guys, almost perfectly. So there is going to be a lot of resistance right here at the top of this zone, more than likely. If we can break above that, guys, I think again there's going to be it'll be more than likely a very good rise, or a very quick rise, I should say, up to about 7,000, somewhere thereabouts, guys, and then we'll have to wait and see how price reacts from there. If we can get above 7,000, I'll get even, obviously that'd be a very big win. But for now, guys, I think the max upside would be 7,000. Max downside's going to be 7,900. A break in either of those, guys, would be a complete shift in momentum towards the bulls or either the bears, depending on which one we broke respectively. If we come over here and we check our short positions, guys, shorts are getting stacked, and this is one reason I think that the bulls might be able to pull this off. Market makers are wanting to liquidate these shorts. They've tried to many times in the past, but I believe the retail investors are getting smarter. They're putting their stop losses low here, as I pointed out here before. So they're getting smarter, and they're not letting the market makers run the gamut the way that they did before and liquidate longs and shorts the way they did before. So we've got a major stack of short positions here, and at some point that's going to get squeezed, and they're going to end up pushing price to the upside to liquidate those shorts. At some point that's going to happen. Doesn't mean it has to happen now, though. I mean, again, doesn't mean that price is going to just break down right now, or is going to break up right now, guys. Price could absolutely come a lot lower. And again, guys, and I hate to be vague, but yeah, right now I'm not seeing a clear direction which way price is going to go. It would be pure speculation on my part, guys, and I just don't have any evidence that gives me any indication of which way it's going to go, one direction or another. All we can do is react. So as I said, guys, if 6100 breaks, then I know more than likely it's going to at least come down to 5900 more than likely. If price does break above this prior high here, 6640, I think it's going to be a very, very quick rise to 7,000. So you know, that's kind of the only thing we can do is react right now, because we're just trading sideways for the most part. And so really all we can do is react, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it there. I know that's not really the analysis that you want, but that is kind of the update. That is kind of the update for now. That is the realistic. You know, I don't want to BS you guys. I don't want to give you any kind of garbage. This is a no trade zone for me. I'm just sitting back, relaxing, and watching to see how this ends up playing out. And this sideways movement cannot continue for much longer, guys. I do anticipate in the next 24 to 48 hours, we are going to get a decisive move in one direction or another. So anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it there. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, please let me know in the comment section below. As always, guys, I certainly would appreciate an upvote or a resteem or a like, depending on where you're viewing this. Until next time, guys, please trade safe. This is Working, signing out.